Hi everyone, Kelly Shaffner here. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a much requested video, and I actually woke up thinking about this video, so I said, just film it, Kelly. Just film this video. Today's video, I am going to share a snapshot of my October 2021 sales. So if you are interested in seeing how October shaped up for me, please stick around. If you're new to my channel, I make videos all about reselling, mostly haul videos. I love to thrift and share my finds with you. So if you enjoy videos about reselling on Poshmark, I sure hope that you will subscribe and join me for a future video. I admit I'm out of practice. I have not shared a what sold video in a while, and I apologize for that. My business has been going very well. The first thing I do want to report is about mid-October, I was able to achieve my annual goal for 2021. So that was a great big celebration moment. But I will tell you that last year when I was setting up my goals, I decided that I wanted to double my income from 2020. And that was kind of an arbitrary goal. I just needed to find a goal and I set it at double, and I have achieved that. And I think it's because of several different reasons. The main reason being that the world has kind of opened up a little bit more, and I have been able to get out and source for myself rather than depend on companies and friends to send me or give me inventory. So I think that has been helpful. I think my sourcing skills may be improving a little bit, and I am able to increase my average sale price, which I really saw a big increase in my average sale price in October. But let me start by sharing some numbers that I've shared in every single What Sold video that I have made to date. And that is my sales numbers, how many sales I made in the month of October. I made 132 sales the month of October. That number is pretty low for me. But there's also some factors. If you have not been following me, then just stick around. I'll explain those low numbers. But I also want to share this number with you. The number of listings, the number of brand new listings that I put in my Poshmark Closet in October was 133. I listed 133 brand new items for sale in my Poshmark Closet in October, and I sold 132 items. Now were not the exact same items, but that number, I think it has been a real eye-opener to me since I started tracking the number of listings and the number of sales side by side. I do daily track how many sales I have every day, and I also track how many listings that I am putting up. Now, guys, I could list 20 items and only sell 2, and that did happen this month. In October, I did leave town. I was gone for 5 days, and during those 5 days, I did not shut my closet down. I don't shut my closet down, but I did not share at all. Everything kind of went dead as far as my activity, but I still made sales. I went to Colorado to meet up with family, to go to a concert, to have some family time really, but I also did quite a bit of thrifting. I knew I was going to bring home a big haul, so the end of September and the first week in October, I was getting everything I had listed, inventoried. I wanted just a clean office to bring all of this new inventory home. So that does increase sales. The more I got listed, of course, the more sales that I have. When I returned from Colorado, I did end up catching a head cold. My whole family caught a head cold. My son and his wife came and stayed with us for 10 days. And so the trip to Colorado, the head cold, and having company for 10 days really slowed down the amount of effort, energy, and work I put into my business. I just want to keep it real with you. That's what happened. Now, when my son left and I recovered from my cold, I did start listing and making more YouTube videos. And yeah, I got back to work. It's kind of business as usual right now. So am I pleased with selling 132 items in the month of October? Absolutely. And I do think that is a direct result of all the work I have done all year long. I have stayed pretty busy and pretty consistent in my reselling business, and my numbers didn't hurt too badly. I say that, it might sound like a low number. You know what? Let's talk real quick about comparisons. My husband really does not want me sharing numbers here on the internet, and it's not necessarily for our privacy. He just really can't stand the idea of me boasting about numbers. And guys, I'm really, really proud of where my business is today because I've done it predominantly by myself. I've had a lot of friends and relatives and neighbors donate to my business. That is really helpful. But as far as the work that goes into my business, I have done mainly by myself. My niece used to help me with inventory. She moved out of town. So yeah, I am doing inventory, and my husband does help me out with some things, but for the most part, this is a solo business. I run it all. So I am proud of where my business started and where it is today. But I also think that we have to be very, very careful about comparing ourselves to others. And I want to talk about that for just a second, because when I first started selling my personal closet on Poshmark, I had a girlfriend that was also selling her personal items on Poshmark, and the two of us would talk daily. And I mean, there were those phone calls, oh yes, I made a sale, I sold something for $16, and we were happy dancing for one another. But there would be occasions where she would call me and say, Kelly, I sold 9 things today, and I would think, like, why didn't I sell 9 things? And that went back and forth because there was days I did better than she did and days she did better than I did, but we weren't selling the same items. And she had a full-time job. We were working, the businesses were nothing alike. The thing that we had in common is we were both using the platform Poshmark to sell our clothes. I think the biggest question I have to ask myself on a daily basis is, how much effort did you put in? Did you give 100% today? Because when I give 100%, I will reap 100% of rewards eventually. Maybe not the same day. And I have already seen a dip in my sales, which came a little bit later in October and all the way into November, but things have returned to normal. So I am back up and running as normal as normal can be. But I want to talk a little bit about that comparison thing, because I don't always think it's bad. I have been influenced by not only successful resellers, but also successful business women that have shared with me ideas and strategies that have worked in their business, and I strive to emulate some of their practices in my business. So it's not always a bad thing. Are you following me? I hope you guys are following me, and maybe I am putting all of this in my video to make my husband happy. Okay, all of that just to explain that I don't go into all of my numbers here, but like I said, 132 sales, and it was a very, very good sales month. It was not as good as September, which I didn't make that video, but yeah, it was still very close to September, and I am hoping that November will be better. But I am realistic in knowing that December is not a good sales month for me, but here's the good news about December. Starting on Christmas Day and the day after Christmas, sales really pick up for me every December. So I have that to look forward to. And I can plan for that as well. And there are some chores and some tasks that I will get done. I will continue to list and whatnot in December, but I am anticipating that history will repeat itself because my store does not specialize in gifts and items that people are normally buying for the holiday. I kind of stick to used, pre-loved, good condition clothing. In today's video, I'll break my sales down into the categories and which categories performed the best. I'll share some of my favorite sales, some of my best sales. I'll share what I call my cartwheel sales, the sales that I literally want to do a cartwheel. I am so pleased that the item finally sold. In most cases, it is finally sold. And I'm also going to give you just a really quick update on my Colorado numbers, how that whole haul and trip is performing. So buckle up, let's get started. Okay, so I have my notes right here in front of me. So if you see me looking down, pardon me for that. I'm going to start with accessories. I don't sell a lot of accessories, but I did sell one belt. That belt had been in my closet for a while. I also sold one piece of swimwear. It was a tankini, and I steer away from two pieces or singles now. I kind of stick with sourcing one piece swimwear. That works out better for me. I sold one skirt, and it was actually a skirt that it had a matching top to it, but only the skirt sold. One skirt. I sold two handbags. I'm not sourcing a lot of handbags lately. It's not my area of expertise, but I did sell two handbags. I sold two pairs of shorts, so shorts are still selling. Now we're getting to some bigger numbers. I sold 13 dresses in October, and I sold 14 pairs of jeans, actually only 12 pairs of jeans. I sold two pairs of pants, but I put them all in the same category. I wish that number were higher. My inventory does have a lot of jeans, and yeah, I guess my jeans are not that desirable. I recently, well, a few months ago, I ordered a thread-up denim rescue box, and I listed almost everything that I got, and most of that is not getting a lot of attention. So I need to look at my denim inventory and maybe adjust some prices on denim. Okay, the next category after jeans is tops. And tops is usually my number one performer. I sold 23 blouses, shirts, tops, but I did separate sweaters from tops for this video. And my next category is shoes. I sold 33 pairs of shoes. I love selling shoes, and I sold 33 pair. Sweaters was my number one category, coming in at 34. I sold 34 sweaters, and I do include like sweatshirts, cardigans, and sweaters all in that category. And between tops and sweaters, which is really just one category on Poshmark, I sold 57. So yeah, sweaters did very, very well for me in October. Okay, the first sale I'm going to talk about today was a jacket. This was kind of a blazer, kind of a cardigan. It is by LaFleur. It was called the Wolf Jardigan, which is kind of their combination of a cardigan and a jacket. It has a blazer look to it. It's made with a very, very nice knit, stretchy knit fabric. It is so nice, guys. I bought this for myself, and I have several black blazers, and I kind of saved this one for special occasions only, and I did wear it one time, only one time. My sister did borrow this jacket, and she wore it to my nephew's graduation from Columbia, and so yeah, the jacket was worn twice, and she gave it back to me, and I outgrew it. It just got too tight on me. I did decide to sell it. I spent $198 on this jacket when I originally purchased it. It was worn twice, and it was in like new condition. So I listed it for $150, and it was listed for about 9 months. I did accept an offer of $99 on this jacket, and I was happy to see it go to a new home. LaFleur is a very nice brand, and it is not a brand that I am normally willing to take a low offer on, because I know that the LaFleur customer will be happy at getting a jacket for half price of retail. So yeah, I pretty much stand firm on that brand. Next up was a pair of Sorel boots. This is a brand that does well for me, as probably all resellers out there. I'm always happy when I can find a pair of Sorel boots in good condition. Even if they're not in good condition, they still sell very well. I sold these Addington boots. I think they were a size 7 Addington boots with a nice lug sole on them for $60. Next sale was a fun sale. This was a pretty rapid sale. This jacket sold in just a few days. This was an Elizabeth and James vegan moto jacket that was gifted to me. It was donated to me by a friend of mine, a friend that I actually met on this channel. She is a viewer, and on occasion she does donate clothing to me, which has been so nice. At one time she expressed that she had some reservations if she donated clothing that did not sell. And she was worried about that. And I told her everything sells eventually, and my friend has very good taste. Now, this jacket was new with tags, and I believe the MSRP on that jacket, if I'm not mistaken, was $88. It was Elizabeth and James, which is a brand that is now sold at Kohl's, and that jacket sold for $52. I was so happy about that sale. And I also want to throw in this sale. This is not a big ticket sale, but this was a sweater that my friend Sophia gave me as well. It was also new with tags. It was by the brand Loft. It was called a poncho sweater. I don't know why it was called that, but that's what Loft titled it, so I used that title as well. This was a super soft sweater that was in fall colors, big bold stripes on it, and that sweater sold for $24. I hope that reporting those sales makes my friend feel good about the donations that she gives to my business. But you guys, those donations that I receive are so incredibly helpful. They do keep me listing on a regular basis. I received so many donations last year, and that's really what kept me afloat. So they help in so many ways. And some of you, my viewers, are concerned that perhaps I don't give back when receiving donations. And I want to assure you that my husband and I regularly give to charities. Although my friend gives me this clothing for free, she does have the cutest little girl that is in kindergarten, and I always try to send a little something for her daughter in return for just being so kind. I do think that kindness repays kindness. It's when you are truly grateful, then often people think of you before they donate to a thrift store, which is very helpful. So, okay, I'm going to move on to my next sale. And that was a pair of UGG Tupelo boots. And these were a tall leather boot that were a little rough when I got them. I did share them in a haul, and I picked these up at St. Vincent de Paul, where at one time all of their shoes were $1, and they just recently upped the price to $2 per pair. So I got these boots at a great price, and I was able to sell them for $60. The next sale was a beautiful pair of boots by the designer Arturo Chang. This was a designer I had never heard of, but these boots came to me in a thread-up box where my normal cost per pair is about $5 per pair. These took a little while to sell, but they were just like new. I did a little research on the brand, and I did find out that Arturo Chang is kind of a Dillard's house brand. I don't know if it's sold at Macy's. Maybe it's sold at Macy's as well, but for sure it is sold at Dillard's. These boots were like brand new. They were a burnished leather. They were absolutely beautiful, and I sold these boots for $55. The next sale was another pair of tall boots, and I picked these up at St. Vincent de Paul. I did share them in a haul with you guys, and I was a little iffy about whether or not to pick up these boots. They were a size 6, if I'm not mistaken. They were a smaller size, but I did bring them home. I cleaned them up. I got them listed. They were by the brand Harley Davidson, and they were just exactly what you would think about if you were thinking about a motorcycle riding boot, what you would actually wear to ride on a bike. Now, this buyer reached out to me several times concerning this sale. She did purchase the boots for $100, and she was very happy with her purchase once she received them. I do think that because she was spending $100 on a pair of used boots on the internet, she was a little bit concerned, but she was happy with her purchase once she received them. And I was really happy that I was able to move those size 6 leather moto boots so quickly. They sold within a week. This next sale I was very happy with for a couple reasons. Number one, because it's men's. It was a pair of men's running shoes, and it was also a new to me brand. The brand was Xero, 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 and these were a pair of running shoes. I believe they were called the Speed Force. My eye was drawn to them because they looked like the brand Ultra. They are a minimalist running shoe, so they have that wider toe box, and they're kind of like very low profile. I sold these shoes rather quickly within a couple weeks for $50. And I'll finish off with my best sale of the month. This is the sale that made me the most money, and it was a pair of tall boots. Go figure. I mean, the tall boots sold for me. They really, really showed up in October. This was a pair of Fry boots. They were called the Tailor, and they were an over-the-knee boot. These were in a nice size, too. They were a size 10, and suede leather, absolutely beautiful. They sold for $125. If you watched my last video, guys, I picked up another pair of Fry boots while I was in Colorado. Very, very similar. I think the ones I got in Colorado are called the Alicia, and they're a size 8.5, and I expect them to perform very well too. So those are the sales. Those are some of the sales that I am very, very happy with. Now I want to move into the sales I call my cartwheel sales that I'm so happy that they sold. And there's a lot of those. I did end up sending out 50% off offers on a big portion of my closet right around the time that my son left, just to start things moving again. And I was able to get rid of a lot of inventory that had been in my closet for a while. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is this jacket. This jacket was mine. It was listed when I started my Poshmark Closet, which is about 2.5 years ago. I started selling on Poshmark. I opened a Poshmark account a year before I ever listed anything to sale, but I sold this jacket. I think it was called Hawk & Co. Let me look. The brand on this jacket was called Hawk & Co. It was an extra small jacket that belonged to me. Now, I bought this jacket and I wore this jacket about 10 years ago. It's maybe a little bit oversized, but there was a time about 10 years ago that I was much smaller, and I bought this jacket. It was a trench style, a short trench style raincoat, and I have had it listed for about 2.5 years. So I was thrilled and did a happy dance when this jacket finally sold for $20. This jacket was in great shape. It could have been the size. It was a small size. It was in good shape. It could have been my pictures. It could have been my listing, my description. I don't know, but I'm happy it's gone. The next sale that I was really happy to see go was a beautiful dress by the maker Eliza J. I called this a midnight blue dress. I did eventually find a stock photo for this. This dress has been listed for a couple years. My niece actually found it in the bins. She went to the bins with me once a couple years ago. She did not enjoy herself. She found that dress and I did bring it home. I listed it for sale and it got no interest. And about a year later, I found a stock photo. I do think that the stock photo helped, but this dress took about 2 years to sell. It was a 00, if I'm not mistaken, which you guys know I steer away from those sizes anymore. This dress sold for $14. It's beautiful. I hope the young lady that purchased this dress has a fun time wearing this dress, but I am so glad it's gone. This next sale made my day. It was a pair of boots that just baffled me. I even asked for my viewers' help to see if anyone could help me to sell these boots. I received these boots right here in a thread-up mystery box, and they were by the brand Lynn Nafour Shook. I don't know. I had never heard of them. My viewers had never heard of them. I was not able to get any information on them. They had a teeny tiny maker's mark. I believe it was embossed in the leather. They were Sherpa shearling. They were fur lined. They reminded me of like a sheep herder boot, to be honest with you. And I had no idea if I would be able to sell those boots, but I did list them. If the boots are leather and in good shape, I normally will list them and try to recoup my cost back on the box. And these boots, lo and behold, they sold for $32. I am so happy that they found a new home. They were just odd boots. I didn't even know if they were men's boots or women's boots, but they sold. $32 in my bank account. Happy about that. Next up, I included a sale that I was happy about because I was surprised that this item hadn't moved faster. This was a sweatshirt, an oversized sweatshirt by Free People Beach. And I found this sweatshirt in Albuquerque, and when I found it, I was certain it was going to move very quickly. It was a size extra small, but it fit me. So it was one of those oversized Free People pieces that I was not able to find a stock photo for. And I'll tell you what, I have a very, very difficult time with Free People oversized pieces that I am unable to locate a stock photo for. It took me about 6 months to sell this sweatshirt, and I did sell it for $29. So I was pleased that I did not have to, discount it and give it away for next to nothing. But this one took a very long time to sell. This is the final cartwheel sale that I'll share with you in this video, and it's bittersweet. There were a lot of sales that I was happy to see older inventory, stale inventory go when I sent out that 50% off offers. But these boots were beautiful boots. I loved these boots. I actually wore these boots before I listed them, and I struggled with whether or not to keep them for a while, to keep them forever, or to sell them. I did purchase them to sell, and I wanted to see them go on to someone that would love them as much as I do, and they did sell for $39. Here's a picture of the boots. They're by the brand Socify. These are handcrafted, hand-painted boots. You guys have to check out the website, Socify. They're beautiful if that's your thing. This is totally my thing. You could just wear a sweater and a pair of denim and some really excellent boots like these and have an outfit, an outstanding outfit. I love these boots. I was happy to sell them. I was sad too, because had they not sold, I probably would have worn the boots again this year, but they did sell for $39. I wanted to mention I only sold 3 bundles in the month of October. There was a time in the past when a buyer or a shopper would like items in my closet. I would put a bundle together and send a buyer an offer. I no longer do that. I did not find that to be time well spent. I have a bundle discount in my Poshmark Closet, so there's an automatic discount if someone puts a bundle together. And I have had people put bundles together and then send me a note saying, please send me an offer, which I normally will. I'll send an offer for a little bit more off besides the 20%, maybe 25 or 30% off. So only 3 bundles were sold, and that was a total of 13 items that went into those 3 bundles. And real quick, I want to report on my Denver trip. I know some of you have been asking about Denver, and I always have questions about traveling to thrift. Is it worth it? And if you are interested, I will make a video once everything is listed and give you kind of the sales number. I did that last year when I went to Denver, because I think people are always curious if it would work for your business. It works for my business, and that's why I continue to do it. I spent $282.05 in Denver on 189 pounds of clothing. Now, to date, like I said, I didn't get things listed the day I got home. It took me a little while to start listing all of those items. And I have about 1/3 of that haul listed to date. And I have only sold, in the month of October, I sold 12 items. Now, November 1st, I sold 1 big ticket item that I talked about in my last video, but I want to quickly go through the items that I have sold from that Denver haul. If you follow me, you've seen some of these items in my hauls, and some of these items didn't even make it to a haul. They sold that quickly. The first being this Everlane sweater. This was an alpaca sweater. I don't remember the name of the sweater, but it was a lavender alpaca, incredibly soft sweater, and this sold overnight in less than 24 hours for $40. Next up was a Lucky Brand sweater. This sweater was really nice. It was kind of a poncho vibe, cowl neck sweater, printed black and white print. What I didn't share in the haul is it zipped on the sides, and I completely forgot to mention that. It's funny, when I'm filming, I forget lots of things, but this sweater sold for $28. It was a larger size, and I do try to pick up larger sizes in Lucky Brand. The smaller sizes sit in my closet forever, so I do avoid those. Next up was a really cool top by White House Black Market. It was 100% leather, a sleeveless top with an exposed zipper on the back and a peplum hemline. It was beautiful. That sold for $20. Next up was a fresh produce dress, 100% cotton, which I did find out that dress was made in Boulder, Colorado. I thought that dress may stay in my closet until springtime, but I received an offer for $25 on that dress. I took it. That was a great return for that dress. Next up was the Burberry piece that I got at the bins. It was a Burberry Brit polo top. It did have some Novacek on the neckline. I did receive a lot of interest on that top. I sold it for $45. The comps on Poshmark suggested that I could get anywhere between $40 and $50. $50 was really the going price. I did not even have to put that top into inventory, and that's why I sold it for $45. The next item to sell sold so quickly that it did not make it into a haul video. This was a button front cardigan by the brand Torrid. It was mixed material. The front of it was just cotton button-up sweater, but the back of it had a little bit of metallic threading in it. It was a rayon blend in the back. It was absolutely beautiful. And that sweater sold for $20. That's a pretty normal return for a Torrid piece. Oh, next up, this one did not get shown in a haul either. I had it prepared for the haul and it sold before my shipping time, so I did send it out. This was a Nike running pullover, quarter zip pullover, like a running jacket. It did have a zip pocket on the back of it, and when I was photographing it, I discovered that the zipper on that pocket was broken. So I did list that jacket for about $25, and I was happy to take an offer on that jacket for $17. Next up, I sold a pink Victoria's Secret color block. It was like gray, black, and white color block sweatshirt. I believe that sweatshirt sold to a viewer. I received such a nice love note. It made my day. That sweatshirt sold for $25. Next piece to sell was a red sweater. I absolutely love this sweater. It was by the brand By Anthropologie, which is a newer label from Anthropologie. But the style of this sweater was a cold shoulder, and cold shoulder sweaters and tops are just harder to move these days. But it was a recent piece by Anthropologie, and it was a red. It was absolutely stunning. It was also in a really good size, so I was happy to sell this sweater for $23. The next piece to sell did not surprise me. This was a pullover sweatshirt by the brand Cool. Cool is an outdoor brand that does very, very well for me. And this was a beautiful piece as well. It was kind of a funnel neck pullover. I think it might even had a kangaroo pocket. I don't remember. You guys are looking at the picture right here. It was in a cool color too, kind of a dusty lavender color. It was in a size large. I received a lot of interest on this sweatshirt, but I did receive an offer for $25. I thought I could get a little bit more for it, and I didn't respond to that offer right away. I thought I would see if I could sell it within the 24 hours that the offer was valid. But guys, I had not put that sweatshirt into my inventory. I had to go and put it into my bin. So I did accept the offer for $25. The last piece to sell in the month of October was another piece, an Anthropologie piece that I thought was so beautiful. This was an olive green, all cotton sweater by the brand Pure Hand Knit. It was sold at Anthropologie. All of the buttons were different. It was just such a beautiful boho sweater. It had an attached hood that you could, it was a removable hood if you didn't want to wear the hood. I think that also sold to a viewer, and I received a beautiful love note on that. So the total of all of those sales was $298 before any platform fee. Okay, this final sale does not count. It did happen on November 1st. I sold a pair of Freebirds by Steven tall boots. They were called the Cash. They were beautiful. I talked about them in my last video. Those sold for $168, which brings my total sales of 12 pieces that I brought home from Colorado to $466. Now the platform fees are about $93, so that brings my earnings to $372 $282.80. My entire haul was $282.05. So I am in the profit just on inventory about $90 at this point with the sale of only 12 pieces. If you guys are interested, I will go into more detail once everything is listed and has an opportunity to sell. One last number I'll share with you before we say our goodbyes, and that is my total cost for inventory in the month of October, and that number is $385.15, and I'm excited about that number. It is a low number for me. I normally spend between $100 and $150 per week. So between like $500 and $600 a month, I am spending on inventory for my business. So $385.15. I'm happy celebrating that number. There are so many other numbers and expenses that go into running a business, and I'm not making that video, guys. I'm just making a video for entertainment purposes. I hope that maybe you can glean some information that might be helpful. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer your questions. I'd like to be helpful if I can, but I hope you enjoyed hearing all about my sales, my great sales, my poor sales, and how the Colorado trip is going. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and I will see you in the next one. Blessings to all of you.